Welcome to Storytime at the Roobus, a weekly podcast where we discuss Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival and other musical things. I'm your host, Brooklyn.
And I'm Sharla.
And I'm Daniel. Hey guys, this is the biggest episode that we've had in quite some time. This is going to be jam-packed full of a lot of stuff.
I'm so excited for this episode.
Me too.
Yeah. What's up?
Can I give a shout out real quick?
Please do.
Shout out to my friend Blue. You're awesome. Okay.
So you were with Blue at Green Bus Brewing here in Huntsville last night, and you saw one of our guests that will be on later in the episode. Who was it?
Wanda. One-hit Wanda.
She is a good friend of ours. She has played our mini Roo. When was that? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
When she played over at Lindsay's Farm? Yeah, that's right. Her and her band came over and played a set for us. She has signed to Single Lot Records.
Yes.
Huge deal for her. I'm so thrilled for her. We all are. She is on the same record label as John Paul White from the Civil Wars and one of our favorites, some other friends of ours, St. Paul and the Broken Bones. So they share a label, and I suspect you will be hearing a lot from her in the coming couple of years.
And she seeing her live was so good. I mean, it was literally just her and a guitar and Green Bus last night, and It was just perfect.
She has an incredible voice.
Gosh, she sang a Snail Mail song.
What's that?
So I just discovered Snail Mail last night, honestly, thanks to Blue.
Okay.
And they're really good. You should check them out.
Okay. That's the first I've heard of them. I will check that. Have you heard of that, Charles?
No, I have not.
All right. That's one of Brooke's weekly picks, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, Snell. All right. We have some other big news. We're going to talk about this first with the panel here in just a moment of some other Roovians that you probably know. So if you've been tuned in to Bonnaroo Twitter this past week, you probably saw from the festival and some other people that some big changes are coming to the campgrounds. We'll wait until we talk with our panel here in just a moment to tell you all about that. I will tell you, though, after having spoken with Corey with Bonnaroo, who does a lot of their marketing, talked with him on the phone a couple of times this past week, I think they're very, very good changes. I was a little skeptical at first before we had all of the info, but after learning more from him, I'm like, whoa, this actually is a pretty good idea. It probably is needed.
So if you couldn't sense my cynicism in our live feed that we did a few nights ago, I was not optimistic about the changes.
That was before we knew a lot.
But after learning some more, I do have a lot more optimism for the changes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we'll tell you the specifics here in just a few moments. And actually, Bonnaroo was nice enough to send us a few small tidbits that we can share exclusively here. One other thing I should tell you is if you're listening to this early in the week, say on the 7th, 8th, or whatever, on Wednesday, I believe, if I recall correctly, there will be a big episode of the What Podcast where Corey and others from Bonnaroo will be on to tell them, in their own words, exactly what we can expect for the campgrounds in 2023. But we have the broad strokes of it now. We know some specifics. You'll know more on the What Podcast, but we're going to share with you on our panel in just a moment.
We do have one exclusive thing that we're going to reveal.
We do. I'll wait till the end of our panel to tell you that, but I was pretty excited to hear this.
Yes, pretty excited that Bonnaroo's bringing something back.
All right, let's jump over to Zoom and get our panel on.
Hey, everyone. We're back with our panel.
Charlotte, would you like to introduce our friends that we have with us this week?
I think I'm going to let you do it.
You're going to let me do it? Okay. Well, me and Brooklyn are trying to get around to that. Let's take turns.
Okay.
All right. I am going in random order here. A lot of these people are some friends that a lot of you probably already know. First up, we have Nick Wigalia. How's it going tonight, my dude?
It's going good. The Lions got a win, so I'm finally happy.
Oh, wait. Who did they play today?
They played the Packers.
Oh, I did see part of that. Oh, not a good day to be Aaron Rodgers. Maybe it's not a good year to be a quarterback that should have already packed it in.
Hey, it's not a good life to be a Lions fan, so whatever.
Feel that with the Maple Leafs.
Well, good to see you, my dude. Since we're talking about NFL football, I think we will go to our good friend Chloe next and ask her how the Vikings are doing.
Uncomfortably well. It makes me so uncomfortable that they're doing so well this season.
I'm starting to get into the Vikings, like secondhand from you. I've learned about how they blow the big horn and do the skull thing.
I heard they got
They got a new
man.
That's right. That's what Lizzo says anyway. But yeah, no, it's been a good season. And Nick, I'm excited for the Lions too. Like, I feel like there's so many like underdog teams in the NFC North. Like anytime any one of us beats the Packers, I'm like, you're my new favorite team. Let's get it.
Yeah, well, enjoy TJ Hawkinson over there.
We'll take care of him. We'll do our best.
Yeah, that was a big trade out of nowhere, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
That was
Brooklyn,
wild.
who was that voice that just came in there?
Oh, I think that's Bonnaroo. I don't know.
What's
I've
up?
never met him in my life.
That is a lie.
That's good old Seth. What's up, buddy?
Bonnaroo,
What's
how's it
going
going
on,
in
y'all?
Nashville?
I am hanging out with you guys. Miss all you guys. First of all, I appreciate the NFL talk. I'm gearing up to watch Sunday night football. My team, the Titans, play the Chiefs tonight. Probably going to get embarrassed, but
No.
it's what it is. So glad to be here.
Hey, since football is one of our things tonight, how do you feel about Nashville getting a giant new stadium for the Titans?
Oh, I'm literally salivating at the mouth over it. I can't wait. I go to quite a bit of Titans games. I've been a huge fan my whole life, and we've never been that good. But I'm really excited for that stadium. I think having like Final Fours and the Super Bowl will eventually come there, and like crazy concerts there are going to be insane. So I'm super pumped for it. It's going to be like 5 years until it's finished, but
That'd be fun, man. I want to go to a game with you. You guys are just
absolutely.
All right, last but not least, there is another Brooklyn in the house, Brooklyn the Corgi, with Miss Kara. How's it going, Kara?
It's good. I am not up to speed with any NFL related stuff, but I just have my dog here and she says hi, so I could talk about that.
Yeah, I think Brooklyn had something to say. She was like pointing out her new Havoc hockey jersey over here that she got the other
y'all
night.
talking about NFL. I'm just like, can we talk about NHL for a minute?
Well, how's your team? How are the Predators doing?
Not good from what I hear. I'm honestly not a major hockey fan. I'm kind of like with some sports, just wait till the playoffs come. But from what I hear, we might not make the playoffs this year. I hear it's pretty rough, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's very rare because the Predators are usually really good. Ironically, though, Toronto's not doing too bad.
Really? Maple Leafs?
Yeah.
That's your team?
That's my team. That and like the Kraken, because you gotta love the Kraken.
They have
Gotta love the
Cool
Kraken.
name, yeah. I like that name.
I remain unaffiliated.
Like their jerseys are so freaking cool.
That is cool. All right, guys. We are actually not here to talk about football and hockey, even though maybe we could do an extra episode one of these days. I don't know.
I thought this was a sports podcast.
No, this is not a
Yeah,
sports ball podcast. Damn it. Wrong. My notes are all wrong if we're doing sports ball. Anyway.
Sports.
Yeah, RIP Tennessee football, but I think they'll still make it in the playoffs. Anyways. All right, we are here today because there has been a lot of news this past week about some changes that are coming to how Bonnaroo is doing their ticketing and the campground. So show of hands, who all saw that tweet storm from the festival the other day? Who already knows a fair bit?
I got logged up.
My hand's raised.
Okay.
Saw it.
Video.
Same here.
Well, it's metaphorical. It's all metaphor. All right. Let's for anybody who hasn't heard on our panel or listening to the podcast, we'll do a quick review of what's going on. So last year, and I heard this from our friend Corey at Bonnaroo, about 98% of the camping structures that are already available on site once you get there, like those dark room tents and big tents and other things, 98% of that sold out. So they knew, hey, we could probably do a little bit more of this. Also, they are able, through the various demographic data sampling methods that they have been able to find out that more people than ever are flying in, aren't necessarily driving in. So that would include somebody like Chloe coming in all the way from Iowa. How long is that flight for you, Chloe?
I don't know what the flight would be, but it's a solid 11-hour drive.
Oh,
So it would be way shorter. Okay.
For some reason, I thought you were flying in. Anyways, whatever.
No, I like to punish myself. The full drive.
I'm going to come back to you because I understood you did GA Plus last year, right?
I did.
Okay. So that's that will come in handy here in a moment because I want to hear your experience with that. You'll understand here in just a few moments. All right. So basically what's happening is they are decoupling how ticketing works. So in the past, you would buy a VIP wristband. That would get you into the VIP campgrounds and the VIP areas inside Centeroo. Now, apparently, you can separately get a VIP experience in Centeroo from camping or vice versa. Does that make sense? Because they had to explain it to me 2 or 3 times before I wrapped my head around it.
Yeah, see, I don't really understand that, to be honest, but I'll continue to listen.
Yeah.
I think isn't it that there's going to like not be a VIP? Is there still going to be a VIP campground area, or do they get rid of that entirely?
So that I don't have full information on. You will be able to get VIP camping, but it may not look the same as it had in years past. We will know here in about a week or two because they're going to announce all this and put out a lot of communication information ahead of Black Friday sales. But you can buy a VIP camping experience, but still have a GA experience in the Senru area. So you can kind of pick and choose your adventure. Like the festival guy kind of described it that way, as like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. So if you wanted to have a VIP experience in Senru, you can still have a GA experience out in the campgrounds. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Firefly model.
Okay, yeah. Can you explain how they've done it? Because I think
yeah. So Firefly does the individual ticket sales like VIP. They don't really have a GA plus, but they have GA, and then they have like super VIP, just what would be premium. And for camping, you can do general camping, and then you can purchase like closer camping. So they have like the Meadows camping, and then they have the Meadows glamping, and then they have the North camping, which is the closest to the campsite, because at Firefly you kind of have to like walk over a bridge to the other side of the highway to get to camping. So they like opened up a new campsite on the north side, which is more expensive. It's like $200 per site versus like the $70. So I think it's probably going to be closer to that. I don't think Firefly has a VIP campsite. They just do that like north camping and then everything else kind of thing.
Brooklyn, doesn't that sound similar to how Okeechobee did it? I remember some of those options over there too. Yeah.
Paying a lot of attention. I mean, we just got there super early. Like maybe we got in line like maybe 30 minutes after they opened the gate, and we still got like super far. So I'm not sure how they do things over there.
I did see that they had a separate area where you could pay a little extra to guarantee a spot next to the lake. Right. They had that at Oak, and that's similar to what Kara's talking about at Firefly, I think. From what I understand, that is something that they are definitely looking at for Bonnaroo. We'll understand more once they talk to the What podcast and then put out their information ahead of Black Friday. One thing I do understand is they will have many more like glamping options, since that sold very well last time and people seem to be responding to that. Did anybody here on the call use anything like that? Like one of those like darkroom tents or like pre-set up tents last year?
No, but I wish I did because of how hot it was, if that could have helped.
Oh, well, yeah. They did have a in there. Chloe, now you did GA plus. I think that's very applicable here, because I think what they're doing is a natural evolution of the extra options that they had in GA plus. And in fact, they kind of pretty much told me that was kind of in line with what they were thinking. What was your experience at GA plus?
I really loved it. I was kind of shocked at how much I loved it, because I thought it might have just been like kind of gimmicky and silly. But I think it really worked, especially for the size of the crowd. Like had they had just like the amount of amenities they had, like there was that lounge that was great. But if it had been that one lounge for like a normal year with like a normal amount of attendees, I think it would have kind of been a nightmare. But this year it was amazing. I never waited a single moment in line to get into Senru. Like literally walked up, not behind a single person. We walked right up. That was probably the best thing about it, was just having that really quick access to Senru. Like we'd walk by like the GA entrance and just like put horse blinders on. Like felt so terrible for those lines. Like I felt so bad.
When you have a beer, please do it with a pinky up.
Oh, I mean, of course, pinkies out only, please. But the lounge itself was pretty nice. Like there was just like free liquid death, like those cans of water. That was amazing. Like air conditioned bathrooms. Like it was pretty slick.
So do you think it was worth what you paid extra for? How much extra did you pay for it? And do you think it was worth it?
I was like, I want to say it was $200 more.
Okay.
I'd have to go back and look for sure, but it was like noticeable. Like we're like, do we really want to do this? But the answer is yes, if only for getting into Senru so fast.
Okay. So I do think that's a good example of what they're looking at. And that is cool that you
Yeah.
thought it was worth it. I think for people that are looking to have a little bit of an in-between, not exactly a super fancy, expensive VIP experience, but something that's kind of in between there, that's a good option. I think that's kind of what they're thinking.
Our friend
Yeah.
Autumn, and she loved it.
Really?
Absolutely raved about it.
Okay. Okay.
What does the VIP experience in Centeroo give you?
Well, a number of things. There's a lounge, kind of like what Chloe talked about with the GA Plus there. It's pretty fancy. I've never personally been in there because I've never done VIP, but I've heard good things about what they have available, drinks and air conditioning.
I think their lounge is air conditioned, and there's more than one.
Yeah, I did VIP last year.
Oh, you did? Tell us about it.
Yeah, I had a VIP pass. It wasn't the best option for the cost, I would say. I ended up, when I did the pre-sale this year, I'm doing GA Plus for 2023. But I mean, it was really nice having the lounge. The events were subpar. They were okay. The swag that we got, not worth it. It was like a t-shirt and a poster. It wasn't anything extreme. But it was nice having air conditioning, like especially with how hot it was, and the free showers. Like that was the prime. I camped in GA with my friends because I actually had to do ADA this year for camping, so that was the best option. And I went over to the showers, and that was like the one thing that was good. But they were too hot, or they were just like too hot too, so that didn't really help either.
So the way they're separating it would actually work pretty well in your case if you want to do like the VIP stuff within Centeroo, but just want to camp normally or need to do like an ADA situation.
Yeah. I think VIP does have ADA too, but it just didn't make sense because I needed to be with my friends who could help me. So I did GA ADA. But yeah, I mean, you've always been able to do VIP passes and camp GA if you wanted. You've always been able to do that. It's really up to you. You just don't get that like quieter campsite experience, I guess. But
yeah, that is one thing that I've heard from people that have done VIP camping is they feel like they're missing the party, so to speak, because it's not like 24/7 rager in the campgrounds necessarily there that it is elsewhere. And we've gotten, not necessarily complaints, but like, some pieces of information from people who have done VIP who in the past were not able to come to our Wednesday party because VIP people couldn't even come in until Thursday morning, which they did fix that this past year. Yeah. So that's good to know that they are listening. I want to go around the horn and get a few things. Wait, Brooklyn wants to go first. Here we go.
Well, no, I was just going to say, like you asked about those tents. Yeah. The dark tents.
Yeah.
Our friend Joseph experienced one of those dark tents. He
I heard.
Well, he met friend and he showed him the dark tent and he said it was really nice and it kept them.
I'm sure it was
pretty cool. Just had to share that one.
I know. I have nothing else to add to this experience.
So
he did
experience on those dark tents.
Okay.
Yeah. If anyone Bonnarooed harder than Joseph this year, I have never met them.
No one else did.
An icon at Bonnaroo, and it brought a lot of happiness.
I could not
to
keep
all
up.
Of us.
Seriously. Okay. We're going to go around the horn here in just a minute and get everyone's impressions and kind of what they think. But there's a couple of other pieces of information I need to let you guys and everyone else know. I have it from Bonnaroo. They will have more in the group area next year. So some people in group were not too happy that there wasn't availability of ice and other things. That will be there. There'll be more ice, water, and food options in the group area. The first come, first serve situation with getting a camp spot is going to mostly remain the same. If you get there early, you will get a spot close to the arch. I know a lot of people took advantage of that last year. The monkey bar, for one, did. Let's see. What else do I have? Much of what everyone knows in Centeroo is going to remain the same. If you want to wait an hour to get in the pit and a GA experience, you will totally be able to do that. I think this is already known, but the tower entrance is going to return. They heard our complaints with that. It will definitely be back. Yes.
That's great news.
Couple other things that you won't see in the announcement in the next week or so. I was able to talk with them, and they do know that there was a less than ideal situation with security harassing women out in the campgrounds. That is something they are taking a hard look at next year. And one other thing, they want to work more with the community. In fact, I have connected them with Mitchell from Camp Red Roof to hopefully plan some plaza entertainment in the group area. There is no one better than him. Anyone who listens to this show already knows that. And Sharla, we have a little bit of exclusive news.
We do have some exclusive.
I don't know if they talked about this in the What podcast or not, but I just learned this today. Do you want to tell everybody this news?
I do.
Please.
So you guys remember previous to this year, they had the really cool campground names. So you would have camp. What's a good one, Daniel?
Dylan.
Camp. Well, yeah.
There was Star Wars.
Yeah, there was Star Wars themed campground names.
There was
Darth Vader.
There was almost famous themed names. There was Dicing a Fuse
All kinds
themed
of
names.
I was in a Harry Potter one the first time I was there, so that was pretty cool.
Exactly.
I think we were like mine and Charlotte's first year. I think we were in like Camp Chewbacca or something like
Camp
that.
Chewbacca. There was Camp Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
But last year it was like on a grid. You would be in like
Yeah.
B12 or something.
It was
It was very
Which makes
Camp
sense.
B, Camp
Well,
A.
to their credit, it makes sense from like an emergency services standpoint because you want to be able, if an ambulance needs to get somebody, you don't want to tell them to go to like Camp Stewie Griffin.
Why not?
Well, I mean, it's just more to figure
It
out.
might be a dire situation, but you got to laugh sometime.
Well, yeah.
So Bonnaroo is bringing back the campground names. And
Woo!
Yay.
according to Bonnaroo, they are going to, quote, make it even weirder.
Yeah.
Hell
I don't know.
Hell yeah.
I only just learned that today on Sunday the 6th as we were recording this. I don't know exactly what they are doing, but they are working to really, as I understood today, they are going to make shit weird.
Fuck yeah.
That-
yeah.
That is the best news I've had all day.
Whatever that
Maybe
is,
all year.
whatever it is, we don't know. But they were playing that specifically a little closer to the chest. We're going to learn that later on. But apparently something funky is going to happen. We'll learn more. It'll be in the campgrounds. That's all I know. We'll know more here in a few months, I suppose. Okay. Now that I think we've gotten all of the information about these campground and ticketing changes out of the way, I wanted to go around the table and get kind of everyone's impression of this. Tell me what you think, what kind of option you think would work for you. Let's start with the man in Nashville, Bonnaroo.
Oh, all right. So funny enough, it sounds like they've made my experience for the last few years just available to everyone. So in
What does that mean?
in I don't know, long story short, so I volunteer at Bonnaroo and I get a staff band, and we'll just say I flex my authority or not my authority, but I like bend my I've hung out in VIP and platinum a few times. I'll just put it that way. So it sounds cool. I honestly, I'm still trying to understand it. Like I don't know. It seems kind of hard on paper to understand, I guess, but it sounds cool. I think being able to have VIP experiences and still camp with GA folks or vice versa, I think is what I'm comprehending. Sounds cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely down for all of the weirdness and the camp names back. I think they need to, just a random thing that I didn't notice last year that I always thought was helpful was the big pod balloons.
Oh, Charlotte learned about that.
There's a helium.
Oh, that's right. You guys told me that. Yeah, helium shortage. I remember. Okay. Well, hopefully those are back. Those are always helpful for me, just to point you in a general direction. Bonnaroo, if you're listening, please add a permanent, proper hydration station at Where in the Woods. Pretty please.
We heard that.
That doesn't exist currently. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really have. It's I guess it's kind of a blueprint or a work in progress of what they're trying to convey to us with this year's experience. But it sounds cool. I'm always down for listen. It sounds like they're listening to the community and they're trying to change things for the better. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, agreed. And they're definitely listening. Let me put it that way. I can tell you guys privately some stuff later, but Big Brother is listening. Let's put it that way. They know these things. Brooklyn, did you have something?
Oh yeah, am I next?
Yeah, sure. Brooklyn, let's go with you next. What do you think?
Okay.
What do you think about the changes?
Well, I like them a lot.
Would you splurge for some like little a la carte VIP experience?
I mean, honestly, not like I always like looked down on the VIP experience. Not I mean, just because
Not condescendingly.
not condescendingly, but just because, you know, like group camping and being in the actual campgrounds is like, for me, the most fun.
Right.
And I don't want to like
Exactly.
I feel like spending extra money and taking away from that experience is just not ideal. But I do like the fact that you can now get the VIP experience in Centeroo, but still
Separately.
remain. Yeah. I like that it's separate and they separated that. Like that's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like they're bringing a lot of good things back, and they're fixing a lot of mistakes, and it's like Bonnaroo said, they are listening to the community. So it's honestly, I'm really happy about it.
Yeah.
And I think that they're saving the things that they messed up on last year.
Agreed.
Which a lot of the things that they messed up on last year was just, you know, they can't really help because
it was a weird situation.
It was a very weird situation, and I think it's good. I think it's gonna be really great, and I'd like to see more progress.
Mm-hmm. I think there's more to come. I think there's.
Oh yeah, it's so early, and they're just already announcing stuff like that. I think there's gonna be a lot of more different changes for the better.
Yeah, I think there will be a lot for them to communicate and educate everyone on, since this is going to be not a drastically big change, but a big enough one. This is something that I was talking with the festival guy about, and he's assisting with this. By the way, the festival guy isn't just like a news source. He's somebody that's been on the ground doing a lot of these things for years and years. Like, he chooses to remain anonymous, but he has a lot going on. He's a super interesting guy that really knows his stuff. He's been working with them since he's been so involved in Bonnaroo, and he's helping them make some good changes, I think. One other thing you brought up, Brooklyn, that I wanted to point out, I buried the lead a little bit. I should have mentioned this to everyone earlier. If you are just coming in with a GA camping pass and a GA ticket, you will save money. Each of those is going to be about $20 or maybe even more cheaper this coming year.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, VIP might be a little bit more expensive, but GA is going to be cheaper. That's what I understand.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I actually ran into some folks last night at the Wanda show.
Yeah.
And they had a little dog, and I was petting their dog, and it had a Bonnaroo bandana on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's a Bonnaroo bandana. It's a Bonna dog. Oh my God. And they were like, yeah, go to Bonnaroo. I was like, yes. And I was like, are you guys going to go next year? And they're like, heck yeah. We saw that it's going to be cheaper. And I was like,
a little.
Yeah. So the word's getting around.
Mm-hmm.
People are starting to see, and I feel like a lot of people are appreciating it.
Well, let's keep going around. Let's go to Kara next. Kara, you got any impressions? What do you think?
I think I'm happy with it. You know, I had to kind of last minute change my camping decision last year, and I was very happy with it. And doing VIP while in Centeroo and camping GA was honestly great. I think my crew this year, we're going to probably do a group anyway. So like, it's just going to be wildly fantastic. So I'm excited for it.
Nice. Let's go to Chloe next. So Chloe, what do you think? I feel like you have some of the best experiences and seen the whole GA plus thing. What do you think? And what do you think are some other like improvements they could make along these lines, since we know they're listening?
Gosh, I don't know. I'm just so stoked that like you guys have kind of been saying that they're listening. Like, I think a festival of this size, so drastically changing the user experience or like the options available, I think is kind of a big deal. Like, they've really had this formula for so long that has like, you know, kind of on all fronts worked for them well enough. Mm-hmm. So like, take a big leap like this is really exciting and leads me to believe that there's positive stuff in the future too. So I don't know what other kind of improvements they could make. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm sure if you let me spiral for a while, I could come up with with some. But I'm just really excited. I think my only like kind of concern I have is like how they roll it out. I'm like a deeply neurotic, like type A planner. So like, I'm already used to kind of feeling like that meme from It's Always Sunny, you know, when he's like trying to explain everything. Like, that's how I feel like I'm going to be with my friends. Like, okay, so we're getting this ticket, but this can't be. So I'm like ready to do that. So I'm just super intrigued to hear how they roll it out and how they explain it. Like, I have faith they'll do well. I'm just really intrigued to hear how it'll go.
Honestly, from what I understand now, I think the communications and marketing of this is probably the biggest speed bump because it is complex. When I was on the phone with him the other day, I had to pull out like the Michael Scott thing. Like, okay, explain it to me like I'm 5.
Literally.
Like, literally had to like I had to ask him to like rephrase it like 2 or 3 times before I wrapped my head around it. So I think that's the challenge. And the festival guy told me as much. He thinks that's the biggest challenge is communicating this. Charlotte, you were on a roll about this yesterday. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm still like, even though, I like all of the new changes that they're bringing, I still genuinely worry about the logistical customer service issues
that's a fair point.
they're going to have. Because we all know that front gate does not have customer service.
Oh,
like it's
look,
basically non-existent.
Let's
So
put it this way. Being positive is on brand for us, but we will also like try to like positively suggest things or trying to be like honest. Front gate sucks.
yeah.
They're
Awful. Awful.
I know I say it like all the time, but just to explain it, being a Reddit moderator and just seeing the kind of questions that come through Reddit all the time, I cannot even imagine the kind of questions that's going to come up about these type of changes. Like, how do I add this, or how do I add that, or what if I want this or that package or whatever. So the communication right there, I mean, it's going to have to be rock solid.
Yeah. Well, the customer service does also, I think is what you're saying. Yeah. Because there will be a lot of scenarios in which somebody, maybe they start out with GA, but once they learn more about the VIP offerings, maybe want to upgrade. Given that front gate was basically non-existent the past couple of years, It seems like that could be a big uphill challenge. I guess we'll see.
I mean, everything has to be, I said in our live feed, but I haven't worked a big event or haven't worked a big, a big thing that offered something kind of like this. I mean, everything has to be so on point. I mean, if there's one point of failure in the system, everything is just dies. And that's it. And your brand goes down and everything is just.
Well, let's give them a chance. I mean,
absolutely.
It was a reboot year last year.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to Nick. We haven't heard from him. Nick, what are you thinking? Is there anything that you might take advantage of in this new system?
Probably not that I will take advantage of, but I will just say that it's nice to be heard, because I didn't have the greatest time for like half the festival last year. And I'm not sure how much of it was Bonnaroo's fault or not, but having extra choice and getting cheaper, especially in the world we live in right now, is pretty amazing, and something that, like, it's really nice that they're listening and not making everything more expensive at the same time,
Yeah, I think a lot of us feared that. I got a big wake up call when we went to Okeechobee last spring because like the concessions were just ridiculously priced. And I was afraid that Bonnaroo was going to get like that. And, spicy pie was $1 or $2 more, but it wasn't too crazy. I mean, I understand they have to deal with inflation too, but I think you hit the nail on the head that it's great that they are being fan friendly with this, with the options and the pricing and everything. That's a very good point.
Yeah. More choices are always better.
Exactly. I'm very.
Sharla brought up a really good point about like logistics, not only like the user experience up front with like the purchase of the tickets, but I also wonder with all these new camping options kind of being more a la carte, I wonder what that will look like in practice. Like when you're driving in to go to your campsite, I wonder how different that will look, or if it will at all. I'm curious about that part.
That's a good question.
It's tough to say because like there's what they put in ink or on digital, but then there's what actually happens in the dirt on the farm.
Exactly. And then you get those volunteers that have 5 minutes of training, and I mean,
if they are going to be,
they've got sunstroke.
Well, that too. If they are actually going through and doing this, they probably have already put that kind of thought. I haven't from them that they have a lot of hours already on this. So it's not just like, hey, it's not hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this kind of thing? They've already worked the angles and are probably like, oh yeah, we can do this. Let's do it.
I love that.
But that's a good point though, Chloe. Anything else from anyone?
Well, if I win the Powerball tomorrow, then we're all going platinum. So this conversation is irrelevant.
Bro, if you win the Powerball, I expect you to just buy it from Live Nation.
Oh, for sure.
We should all just start a big collective pool amongst all the Bonnaroovians and like, hey, everybody's going to get a cut, but we're just going to buy it from Live Nation and then run it for ourselves.
It's not a bad idea.
Down.
What is it up to? Like $1 billion?
No, like $2 billion, 1.9 right now.
Shit. How much is one Bonnaroo? How much would that cost?
I'd like one Bonnaroo, please. Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I know this was short notice. I got in touch with everybody yesterday, and everybody was so cool. They're like, "Yes, let's do this thing."
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Fuck yeah.
I need some positivity and some light in my life since it's dark at 5 p.m. now. So I've had fun.
100%.
Well, I hope that is one thing that they do in Washington that would help everybody is just make it.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
please.
Stay sunny until 6 o'clock, please. That'd be nice.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Bonnaroo, when can we hear your podcast again?
Oh gosh. I figured I was going to get called out eventually. Funny enough, I have an episode recorded. It's a really long one, and it's just taken me. I've just been really busy, and I know that's a lame excuse, but I just work a ton, and I haven't gotten a chance to completely edit it. But I think I'm just gonna stack up a couple episodes. I've been wanting to do a couple, some random topics that I've wanted to do, so I think I'm gonna like stack up a couple here in the next few weeks, and so that I can consistently upload again.
Perfect.
So it's coming soon. Sorry for the hiatus. I really I just got super busy. As soon as we came back, I started a new job and moved, and it's just been crazy for me. But it's still alive and well, just on a hiatus.
No need to apologize, my man.
Give your dog a good old pat on the head for all.
I'm literally petting him right now. I hope he wasn't making too much noise.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We love you guys. We'll see you before too long.
All right, yeah. Love you guys
love
too.
you. Bye.
Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
All right, thanks, y'all. That was perfect.
Yeah, that was
Sweet.
great.
All right, see everybody real soon. We gotta get on the horn with Wanda here in a minute.
Ooh, yay, Wanda.
Like I had to, baby. I'll find what feels better. I'll let you go. See, I'll wait for you.
Thank you guys so much. That was so awesome.
Yeah, I literally messaged him yesterday after I knew that we had all this stuff to talk about, and everybody was so cool. There was a couple of others that had some other stuff going on. I had hoped to have Evan, one of our Roovie Award winners, and Jace on. They were busy with some other stuff. We'll have them real soon.
Zoom cut us off at right the last second.
Yeah, one of these days I'm going to have to finally upgrade
Right the last
Zoom.
second.
Yeah.
That sounded weird.
Whatever. Thank y'all so much for jumping on with us. Charlotte, we should also thank our Patreons real quick before we
should.
talk to
Yeah,
Wanda
yeah.
here in a few minutes. Why don't you list everyone's name? Let's do last names
we
too.
have a new one.
We have a new one. Amanda Schneider. Thank you so much for joining
Oh
on
my
with
gosh,
us.
thank you, Amanda.
Can you go through everyone's names and give them last names? Give them last names
okay,
this week.
but if I mispronounce it, don't at me.
Here comes Brooklyn. She's coming back too.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to pee.
Go
Oh
for
my
it.
goodness. Okay. All right, we ready?
Go.
All right, Amanda Snyder, Preston, aka Presto, Nick Wagalia,
We just talked with him.
Maddie McCracken, Sean McCain, McFerg, Andrew Julian, William Hoper, John Howard, Captain Dan, Lucy Young, Benjamin Wales, Ross McNamara, Kent Summers, Michael Roberts, Randy C., Joshua Winsel, Madison.
We already know we mispronounced your name.
Madison told me that I mispronounced her last name. Madison Hadsikio. I'm sorry, Madison.
We're trying. We're trying.
You don't come for me. Scott Hurst, Greg B., Eric and Ben Abel, Natalie Gaucher, Beyond the Hypnotic, that's Jace,
I understand Jay's had a good time down at Halloween.
Evan Brown, Jay Sanders, Chloe Hannon,
Oh yeah, just heard from her.
and Sean McCarthy.
Thank you, everyone. You know the deal these days. It's at patreon.com/Roobust. 80% of what we're collecting is going to go to the Bonnaroo Works Fund, a wonderful organization.
Yes.
Oh, here
They're so
comes
great.
Brooklyn with a bourbon for me. Thank you so much.
There you go.
The remaining 20% will go to fund our party. We will be talking to our Patreons before too long about what we might waste that money on. I don't know what it's going to go to. They're going to decide what that 20% goes to. It's going to be a fair chunk of change because we're going to have a lot in Patreon money this year. Thank you so much to everyone for that. Patreons, if you haven't checked it, we did an exclusive episode just for you guys where we had some hot tea. Am I making a reference there?
Hot tea in the kitchen?
Yeah, sure. No, that's not to say that Goose is going to be there next year. I don't know anything about
wish.
that. I'll get to see Goose at Okeechobee here in a couple of months. Yeah. But we're going to try to do some more of those every so often. One last thanks. We should thank some of our dear friends who came to the Halloween party, the annual Rubus Halloween party.
Yes.
We had Eric and Ben here.
Eric and Ben came.
Baby Nick was here. It was,
Baby Nick.
yesterday was Baby Nick's birthday. Did you know that?
Oh, I had no idea.
Yes, it was.
I need to send him a message.
All those boys went to the Lizzo concert in Nashville a couple weeks ago. They had a wonderful time. But yes, and Otto was here. I know she listens every now and then.
Yes.
Her and her dude Grant were here. They had a good time with them. All right, so here in just a moment, we're going to talk to a dear friend that we have come to know and love the past couple of years. Wanda is a singer-songwriter from here in Huntsville, Alabama, the Rubus's hometown. But Wanda is also a three-piece band from here in Huntsville. So she is the singer-songwriter. She plays guitar, but there's also two other guys in the band.
But it's just Wanda.
But it's just Wanda. Wanda drives also a van called Wanda.
The Wanda van.
It's a lot of fun. She's played Mini Roo for us.
She's a one-hit Wanda.
She is One Hit Wanda. That was the name of the song. She played a set for us at our secret farm. It was wonderful. We've known her for a while because she's all over Huntsville doing open mic nights and stuff like that.
No, they
Yeah,
just book her.
that is Booker.
yeah.
Not open mic nights anymore.
Oh, okay.
Well, she used to host an open mic
Yeah.
night.
I think she
What-
still does.
It's what you're thinking.
Well, we'll
of,
find
yeah.
out. We're about to talk to her. She had some big news in the past week or so. She is now signed to a record deal with Single Lock Records out of Florence, Alabama. It is a record label in large part from John Paul Wyatt, who used to be one half of the Civil Wars, who played Bonnaroo years ago. Wonderful duo that played back in the day. He does a lot of single work these days. Also on that label is some friends of ours, St. Paul and the Broken Bones. We love. How many times have we seen St. Paul, Charlie?
87.
87.
It's got to be at least 6 times, right?
Yeah, probably.
We have a thing going with Paul because every time he sees the Ricky totem, he will go out of his way to take it from me and kiss it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This happens every time. One of these days I'm going to talk with him about that. But anyways, they are now Wanda's label mate on Single Lot Records, and I suspect that you are going to be seeing her name in small font on a lot of festival posters this coming year.
I hope so.
I got a strong suspicion Bonnaroo is listening to this episode since we're talking about some of the things they're doing next year.
Wanda.
Y'all, you got to book Wanda. Please book Wanda.
She's so incredible.
Hey, she already played Mini Roo. So.
In fact, Wanda has been to Bonnaroo. She was there last year, getting signatures to sign people up to vote.
She was.
We'll learn about that here in just a moment. I think she just went to Halloween as well. We should just talk to her. Why don't we just go talk
why
to
are we
her?
talking about her?
Let's go talk to her. Let's talk to Wanda.
Well, we have a special guest right now. Her name is Wanda. She is a one-hit Wanda. Just kidding. She has multiple multiple great songs. How you doing, Wanda?
I'm so good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. You know what's funny is this morning I woke up wearing a shirt that said Wanda's girlfriend, and I was confused, and then I realized I had made a drunk purchase at one of your shows last night.
Yes, you're my girlfriend. What, you don't remember our talk?
Oh no!
I'm so sorry. We'll have to go over that again later.
We're supposed to go to prom together.
God, prom?
What are you gonna wear? Oh my gosh!
The Wanda's girlfriend.
Wanda's girlfriend shirt.
She only lets me wear that shirt.
Okay, wait. You guys set the scene for me last night because, like, Brooklyn, you went over to Green Bus Brewing here in Huntsville,
Yeah.
and Wanda just happened to be playing. Did you know she was gonna be playing?
No. Okay, so my friend Blue, bless her sweet baby soul, I love her to death. She's having a hard time. And I went to Fat Sammy's to hang out with her, and we were having a good ass time. She's a wonderful person, by the way. And she's like, hey, you want to go to Green Bus? And I was like, you know what? I haven't been to Green Bus since Lord Taco was in town. He has a green bus. So that's why. So we decided to walk on over to Green Bus, and we walk in and I hear that voice and I'm like, wait. And I turn around and I'm like, oh, Wanda.
Yeah, seriously, Wanda, that voice is unmistakable. I'm going to put some of your music in the bumper on the podcast
It's
here.
so good.
That has been one of the first bullet points I have given people when I've tried to introduce your band is you have a gorgeous, amazing voice.
Absolutely stunning.
Like your vocals are like killing it. It sets you apart
Unmatched.
so much.
Unmatched.
Thank
So
you guys
like,
so much.
all right, I'm going to the source here. If I want to really show off your vocals, what would be some of your top recommendations of your songs?
Well, I guess if you were gonna say showing off vocals, I mean, honestly, I'll tell you what, guys, like it's hard. It's hard to sing some of the songs that I've written. I was just telling my friends, my bandmates, and I'm in this other band, Dweeby, and we were talking today, and we were talking about how sometimes we don't think that we write songs that we should sing necessarily. Like we write melodies that are hard for us to sing vocally. And so like I think that one of the harder songs for me to sing personally is Virginia's for Lovers, just because it starts out extremely low and then it goes into this belt and it's like, why did I write this? This is so difficult. But like people end up singing it at the show and screaming and I don't care. So when everyone else is screaming in the audience, I'm like, I don't care. I'll scream on stage. I don't have to sound pretty right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
It's
brought
about
that
the
one up.
feeling, you know what I mean? I think that's what's the most important about vocals. It's not about hitting the notes necessarily so
About
much as it's
feeling.
about really just being there in the song and like just like connecting to the emotion of it and like sharing that with people. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what makes a good vocal performance. It's almost like adding some soul to it. You know what I mean?
Very much. I'm glad you brought that up. That's one of my favorites of yours. Like you really do belt it in that one. It's almost a ballad.
I also didn't realize that you were in another band called Dweeby.
No, wait.
Dweeby.
I think we have a mutual friend in that band. Is Jerome in that band?
He is Jerome.
Gosh, you and
Romeo.
Yes.
wow.
It's me, Jerome, and Aaron Anderson, and they kind of swap out between guitar and bass, and I play the drums.
That's like a Huntsville starter kit right there.
Starter kit. I love
Well,
that.
there's a bit of a cross section for all of us as well, because like we had you come play one of our mini Bonnaroos at our secret site in Tennessee, and
Yes.
Jerome and them damn dogs played another one. So
Yeah,
like
they played the year before, right?
that's right. We've been trying to showcase our favorite Huntsville bands. Another one that came, I think the first time we had it was Seeds with our friend
Yes.
Branson. They do like kind of like the funk jam band kind of stuff. We try to show something different every time.
Beautiful Seeds.
I love Seeds. But yeah, I need to check out. Now, what's the name of the other band again? I'm sorry.
Dweeby.
Dweeby.
Yeah. Yeah, we have fun with it. It's like, a little side passion project and songwriting expedition, if you will, where we're just throwing stuff out there and seeing what sticks together, a little creative safe space, if you will.
I love that.
Well, that's some of the best stuff. But let's talk about the Wanda band, though, because that's why I'm
All
really excited, because you've had so much cool news the past couple of weeks. All right, let's start from the top. So, like, Wanda, could you tell us, like, what are some of your, like, inspirations for, like, putting your music together? What's been some of your favorite singers or songwriters or bands?
Well, I'm always, specifically with the Wanda band, I would say that I'm inspired with our sound by like just the Muscle Shoals way of recording, like getting the live take, you know what I mean? Having everybody in the room together.
Mm-hmm.
I like to record things live and get as much of the real moment as I can and do as little overdubs as possible. So just pretty much from a production standpoint, that's kind of the inspiration there. And then for songwriting, I mean, I'm inspired by everybody I listen to, and I feel like I can definitely tell who I was obsessed with at which point that I was writing certain songs, because it comes through in the music. And I love the Beatles, obviously. I love I don't know if anyone listens to Lady Lamb. She's amazing. She's
I love Lady Lamb.
Oh,
Dude,
it's amazing.
no. Okay, I have to fan out for a second.
Please do.
My favorite thing ever is when you sing, oh my God, what's that one like long Lady Lamb song? Oh my
Crane
God.
your neck.
Crane Your Neck. That is one of
Bro.
my favorite songs ever. And the first time I ever heard it was when you did that cover. I had no idea who Lady Lamb
That's
was.
cool.
And I heard you sing it. And then I listened to the original and I'm like, holy shit. She like hit all of those notes perfectly. And like I was just like blown away. It's such a beautiful song too. So thank you for getting me into Lady Lamb.
Oh my God, I am honored to say that I think I've gotten several people into Lady Lamb. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys, the other day I get on Lady Lamb's Instagram, the first picture I see is like one of my ex-girlfriends tattoo. She got a tattoo of a Lady Lamb song that I showed her. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is how deep Wanda runs in a Lady Lamb fandom. Like, I've been a stan for years, so she's a huge inspiration. I would love to go on tour with you, Lady Lamb. If you're listening, I love you.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Please.
Please.
All right, so you've had some big news in the past, what was it, a week or two or something like that. I am so happy. I think I took you on the Roo bus a year or two ago, and I'm like, dude, you're about to blow up. Because like I had listened to your first album, One Hit Wanda, and I knew you were destined for some big things. So it turns out, what was it, a week or two or so ago, you were announced as the new artist with Single Lock Records out of Florence, Alabama. How did this come about? How'd you get in touch with them?
Dude, well, first of all, thank you for everything you just said, and thanks for always believing in me. But second of all, Single Lock, I mean, they're out of Florence, you know, and I moved to Florence to go to UNA, and UNA has a lot of you know, connections with Single Lock, especially in their entertainment industry program, which is what I was like pursuing. So, you know, there's like intern opportunities with Single Lock and all sorts of like, you know, some volunteer stuff and etc. So it's just kind of like Single Lock is so much a part of the Florence ecosystem, and the, you know, the people who run Single Lock are so kind and welcoming and supportive. So, you know, they ended up coming out to some of the shows, and you know, Jay, our producer, is on Single Lock with his band, the Polys, and so he had shown them some of our songs. So it's just kind of like, you know, got lucky to be in the same orbit as some really cool people, and it worked out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'm very happy for you, because like there are a lot of local Florence artists that we have gotten to know very well that are now your label mates. Of course, John Paul, formerly with the Civil Wars, and one of our favorites, St. Paul, is on there as well. So tell him we said hi.
Definitely. Oh yeah, John Paul White. He was my professor at UNA. I love him so much, and he taught songwriting and artist development, stuff like that. So I've learned a lot from John Paul in the last year.
Nice.
And it's super great to be able to work with him and know him and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, there's a ton of people. There's Caleb Elliott and a lot of great artists that are on Single Lock. So I'm really thrilled to be sharing, you know, a label with some really huge talents that I'm, you know, humbled to know.
Okay. So what are some of the advantages, and what are some of those opportunities that you're going to be experiencing here in the next few months with singing with a record label so well known such as them?
Well, you know, I mean, a lot of things that we're doing, we're just trying to, the Wanda band's kind of a little bit dormant right now until hopefully, you know, maybe the summer, because we need to finish up. We recorded a second album, and it has 12 songs on it, so we're working on putting that one out. Just released a new single with Single Lock called Gotcha for Halloween.
Did you sing that one last night? I
did sing that last night. I liked singing it acoustic. It's really fun to sing it with the band too, but yeah, it's this weird song my bandmate wrote, Andrew. He wrote it in his dreams because he's a genius.
I wish I had that.
I got to hang out with Andrew. We had him over at the Monkey Bar at Miniru. He's a fun dude.
Oh yeah, he's amazing. He's had his finger in like every musical project Huntsville has known in the last 30 years. So it's like deep in this scene. It's really great to have him in the band.
So like from our perspective, we're hoping that like getting on a label like Single Lock, where they're able to network in the industry, it might mean that you're able to play a festival like Bonnaroo, which, by the way, I know they're listening to this episode. You should book Wanda. She would be a great Thursday act.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
It would be crazy to play Bonnaroo. I went to Bonnaroo for the first time this year. I volunteered with Head Count. registering people.
Yes.
Yeah, it was such a blast. You know, I don't know how I ended up at Bonnaroo. It was just like fate. It was just like I had been thinking in January, like, I'm thinking I want to go to Bonnaroo. And then I was like, I don't know if I can swing it. I don't know. So I decided not to. And then a week before Bonnaroo, my friend was like, hey, do you want to volunteer with me? And I was like, immediately, like, stop everything. I'm going. And I had some of the most incredible experiences of my freaking life. Met some of the coolest people. Man, someone I met at Bonnaroo, he was from Texas. He and our friends just hit it off so well that he just moved to Huntsville. He just like 2 years, like living in Huntsville. Like Bonnaroo is like this entire ecosystem, this entire little tiny city, and I love the culture of it. I can't wait to go back, and it would be an honor. It would be crazy to play. I mean,
doing these things, and like people who haven't gone will never know. But once you go and you're like, oh. Now I'm hearing those things that you have been telling me for all these years.
Now, Wanda,
dare I say it, life changing?
It was for me and Sharla almost 10 years ago.
It changed my life.
Now, wait, I have a question. I remember a week or two before you told me that you were volunteering and you were able to go. And you told me that one of your favorites ever was playing last year, but I don't ever think I caught from you who it was. Who was that last year?
It was Bleachers, and I camped out like an hour and a half to see them front row. And I had the most incredible experience of my life. And Jack from Bleachers was like, everybody get on each other's shoulders. And dude standing next to me, who's like 6'2", just looks at me and goes like, do you want to get on my shoulders? And I was like, I don't know. And before I had any time to like say no or yes, this dude shoves his head between my legs and lifts me up in one fell swoop, and I'm up there for the entire song, and it was the best moment of my life. And then this guy I know, Thornton, he is in the pit taking pictures, and he and I make eye contact. I've known this dude since middle school, and we just grab hands, and he takes this photo of me, and it was amazing.
What?
It was like such a church moment, you know?
Send me a link to that.
I like that phrase, such a church moment.
Send me a link to that. I want to see that picture. I've never saw that.
I will send you this photo tonight.
Now, wait, did you go to the Super Jam that Jack hosted, that 1984 thing?
I did. It was amazing.
I was there too. I was there for about 2/3 of that set in the back. That was so fun. I know they started late, but once they really got going, that was amazing. I loved it when they brought out the singer from Goose, and they did a couple of songs. That was such a fun Super Jam.
I was there at the end for that, but I forgot all about it.
Well, Wanda was there. We missed her.
Dang.
Yeah, the set list was great. It was a vibe. I was chilling in the back. I was really tired that day, but I was vibing and I had a lot of fun.
What were some of your other favorite shows besides Jack stuff?
Oh, Tobe Nwigwe was my favorite set that I saw. And he had his whole family out there. His little toddlers were like walking on the stage. The energy was insane.
I really love that me and Daniel both looked at each other and we were like, who?
Oh my God.
I don't know who that was. I have homework now.
He was amazing. Or I'll just send you some of his stuff. But
Okay.
I didn't expect to see him. My friend just told me like he's amazing, and I believed her, and I am smart to have believed her because she was right. It ended up being my surprise favorite set. And
I
then
love that your favorites are not in any way our favorites. And I'm not saying that disparagingly. That's awesome because everybody has a different experience.
You know, I thought you would have said Tosh Sultana was gonna be.
I did catch Tosh. I caught some of Tosh, and I caught obviously Stevie Nicks. I caught Tool, which I really liked. I didn't expect to really.
That was fun.
Same. We were there for like the first 3 songs, and holy shit,
Yeah,
that was incredible.
yeah. I saw Coin too. Never heard of them. Really liked
Coin
them.
is so good.
Wait, did you go to the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard show?
I was asleep for that. I'm pretty.
You done messed up. I'm sorry.
I was so tired. Honestly, the first 2 nights, I was like, I need to be in bed by like midnight because volunteering in the sun for hours was really hard.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
now
it was,
wait.
like, peak heat this year.
Yeah, it was pretty bad the first couple of days. Before we move away from that, I want to ask you about that. You were with Headcount, right? This is relevant because election day is like this Tuesday.
Yes, let's talk about this.
So what were you doing with them and how did that go?
Well, it went well, and I ended up with them just through like knowing people. One of my friends had been signed up to volunteer, and he went to like the Bonnaroo like meeting, and one of the team leaders was like, "Hey, we need someone else to go. If anybody has a friend that can like carpool with them that wants to go, let me know." And he like texted me immediately, kind of thing, and it was just like I got on the list just by like knowing somebody, I guess. And I didn't know about headcount until then, and so then I looked it up, and I was like, this is like really cool because they're nonpartisan. They just want to get concert goers interested in democracy and like educated on it, and they're really accessible. All their resources are easy to read, and they break things down for the average person, the average voter. And the whole shtick is like, we just want people who love music to vote, because
Exactly.
Yeah.
wouldn't that just make I think about like Bonnaroo, and I just went to Halloween. I'm just like going to all these music festivals with headcount,
Oh.
and I'm like I love festival culture, and I just wish that like everybody kind of like had this like sort of like respect of this tiny ecosystem. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
the rules are unspoken. People just have this like energy about them. Like people look each other in the eye.
Absolutely. You get it.
I love that about it, and I leave these music festivals kind of like with that in my personality a little bit more. I'm a little bit louder. I'm taking up more space because I feel like I'm allowed to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not to get sentimental, but anyway, back to head count.
You got registered to vote a while back, Brooklyn? for
Yes.
head count?
I got registered at my first Bonnaroo.
You did? With
Yeah.
head count?
Yeah, head count.
That's amazing. See,
Right?
I love that. Yes, Headcount has registered so many people to vote at music festivals and concerts, and there's like tons of volunteer opportunities.
Because
And
let's be honest, like a lot, like our generation, a lot of us that are like in our generation that want to register to vote, we're lazy. We're lazy as fuck, honestly. Like, especially if you're like me, like we're like, yeah, I'm gonna register to vote, and we're just like, I'll do it. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week. No, when you're there at a music festival and some nice folks walk up to you and are like, "Hey, are you registered to
So
vote?"
that's
You're
what
like,
that's what's brilliant about it.
it's so easy and it's such a positive experience because, like, when you're when you're young and you're just starting off adulting and you think about registering to vote and stuff like that, or like calling your doctor and scheduling an appointment, that stuff can be kind of stressful if you're new at it.
totally.
Like adulting things, like simple adulting things, for some reason are the most stressful.
But when you meet like Wanda
When
at
you
Bonnaroo,
like go to a music festival and you have some nice people walking up to you like, "Hey, like let's do this," and you're registered to vote, it's so easy and it's so fast and it doesn't take up a lot of time and it's a positive experience.
Yeah,
And I really love what Headcount does with that
yes, me too.
that,
And
that
very well said.
demographic.
Yeah, and it is true. It's like, a lot of people find the whole experience to be really daunting, but when you have somebody like a headcount volunteer or team leader just like be able to tell you, the rules of like your state and like know and have those resources that are very easily accessible, and they're telling you like there's a girl with glitter titties telling you to register to vote. Like, why
Yes.
yes,
like,
ma'am.
why wouldn't that be an amazing experience? Like,
That's democracy at work.
That is
exactly.
woo.
Well, that's so cool. I'm glad that you were doing that because that is an integral part of modern democracy, to get like a younger generation doing that kind of thing more involved in a way like that. So that's so cool that you've been able to volunteer and make that happen. Actually, I'm going to put a bug in your ear. You should see if you can have an opportunity to do that at Okeechobee here in a few months. You can come hang with us.
Dude, I would love to. I'll sign up to volunteer for it tonight. You can do that. Head count.
Okay. Well, come camp with
Yeah.
us. We got a big crew going down there. We'd love to have you.
We're in
Right.
group camping
Yep.
now.
We'll have to talk later. We're going to make that happen.
Yeah.
All right, we'll look up, bro.
So I have a thing. You mentioned Halloween real quick. We have some more points to get to, but real quick, you mentioned Halloween. We had a handful of folks go to Halloween, and everyone that we talked to like my friend Lily and our friend Mitchell and Elena, they went to Halloween and they said it was just incredible, an incredible year for Halloween. What did you think about it?
Oh man, I loved every moment of it. I had a lot of fun.
Was it your first Halloween?
It was my first Halloween, yes.
Oh,
And
nice.
I just loved the camping experience. I liked camping in the woods, and
Yes.
I liked the kind of like free for all. There wasn't like,
Yes, that's what I've heard.
Yes.
yeah, it's like make your mark and go fucking set it up.
We are definitely trying to make it out to Halloween one year.
I told Mitchell I want to go next year.
So yeah, count us in for next year. If you
Let's
want
go.
to go, like we'll make a big group.
Who
Yeah,
did you enjoy at Halloween? What was some of your favorite acts?
I got to see Fearless Flyers, and I'm obsessed. I love them. And I saw obviously String Cheese Incident. I saw them
Oh hell yeah!
I think they're
8
the opposite.
times.
That's like their thing, Halloween.
Well, that and wow, it's in my mind blanking. The one up in Michigan or whatever.
Oh,
Electric Forest. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all right. Wanda,
So-
we're going to either clearly I think we're all going to Bonnaroo together next year. I'm gonna have you playing Bonnaroo if I have anything to do with it. But I'd love to like hang out with you at Okie or Halloween or whatever.
Yeah, dude, you should check out Okeechobee. Seriously,
All right,
It's fun.
good stuff.
Yes.
I
It's
will.
a little bit more EDM heavy, but it's such
It's
a good
time.
time.
I don't even care the kind of music. I'm there to like meet people and have fun.
Heck yeah, I love that attitude.
I like
All right.
discovering new music at
Ooh.
music festivals. You know what I mean? I like to see
Yeah.
things I wouldn't have otherwise seen.
Well, that's what
Oh,
we want to
I
get to
love
because
that.
I want more people discovering you.
Yeah,
So like that's kind of what we want to talk a little bit about. So like Brooke, you want to ask her?
yeah, I'll ask her. Sorry, this is awkward. But what kind of challenges are there for a smaller font band that's working their way into the festival lineup?
Yeah, so like I think with Single Lock, you're going to be able to work your way onto like lineups on some of these kind of festivals like we're talking about. What have you come to understand from your label about like how you're going to be able to get on things like that? And you already kind of are because I don't think we talked about this, but you played Shoals Fest and kind of sort of opened for Jason Isbell about a month ago.
Which is badass.
Yeah, that is awesome. So like, how are you able to make these things happen? Have you had these kind of conversations with them yet?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think that, you know, with the opportunity like Shoals Fest, for example, and pretty much all of the opportunities I've gotten, truth be told, have been just because, you know, I almost never stop working. You
Mhm.
know, I know a lot of people because of that. And, you know, I try to make every stranger a friend. And I think that, you know, going out into your community and interacting with the world around you and being kind and showing that you work hard and show up gets you more than you could ever want for.
Mm.
I mean, it's not like, you know, I got lucky or I knew that. I mean, sometimes it is like you get lucky or you know somebody or timing, but it's like I wouldn't have experienced luck or timing or knowing somebody if I didn't go out to, you know, meet people, go out to
Yeah.
shows, go out
Well,
to
I mean, I know what you've been doing in town because we're both in Huntsville. I've seen secondhand you've been working your tail off the past couple of years, so I think that has a lot to do with it too.
definitely. I mean, hard work and just like I said, showing up. And I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to make good music, and I want as many people to be able to access that as possible. Because I think that music is medicine. So I want to like
Yeah.
share the meds with everybody, you know, and I think that, you know, a lot of opportunities are going to come naturally, and then having a resource like a label obviously is helpful in expanding what those opportunities look like and getting to the next level, so to speak.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it probably has a lot to do with networking, of course, too. Like that's part of like being on a label with a lot of awesome musicians like you're able to hang out with now too. You're able to share resources and ideas and different things like that. So this has been such a big step for you. I'm so happy for you. When I found out the news, I was like literally high-fiving Charles over here because like I knew this was going to happen for you. Now that it's finally here, I'm so happy for you.
Dude,
Dude,
big
thank you
news.
so much.
Super proud and happy for you, dude.
appreciate that.
Absolutely. And like I said, Bonnaroo, if you're listening, book Wanda.
Book Wanda.
She would be such a good Thursday
She's so
act.
awesome.
Yeah. Wanda, I'm going to take us out here in a moment. I'm going to let you be your own DJ. What track should we use as our bumper music that you've got out already?
Put on Gotcha.
Gotcha. I'll
Gotcha.
do the thing.
Do the thing.
Now, wait a minute. Tell us
Do the thing.
Tell us a little bit about it. You released this just a couple of days before Halloween. Do you consider it a Halloween song?
I do because Andrew, our bass player, comes into rehearsal one day and he's like, "Hey, I dreamt this song. This band was in this warehouse, and I walked in the warehouse and I listened to the song and I thought that's a weird song. And then I woke up the next day and I wrote it. And here's how it goes." And he played it for me, and my jaw was on the floor, and I was like, "Shit, dude, we got to cut that song. It's amazing." And we went in the studio the next week and recorded it. And I thought, like, this sounds like a Halloween song. Let's release it for Halloween. And that's when we asked Single Lock if they wanted to, like, help us put it out. And I'm really stoked about it. I mean, from start to finish, it didn't take long. And I love it when things just come together. And it's just, I'm so happy that I get to sing cool songs that my bandmates write.
It's really
Isn't it
awesome?
No, wait. How fast did that happen in which he came to you and told you that he had an idea until it became your first single on a record label?
Well, we had 2 rehearsals before Sluice Fest, which was like August 12th or something. So it was like we had the first rehearsal. That's when he showed me the song. And then the next rehearsal, he gave me a CD with the chords. And then after Sluice Fest, I had learned it, and we showed Nick, our drummer, at like sound check or something. And he picked it up immediately, and we used it to sound check at Sluice Fest. And then
Incredible.
I texted Jay and I was like, "Hey, can we come into the studio on Sunday and cut this song?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm free." So we went in Sunday and recorded. And we did the overdubs like for the vocals like the next week. And then like I think we had like Single Lock into it by like the end of August kind of thing, because it had to happen fast because it was happening for Halloween. So it was like one of those things where it's like, oh crap, it's August, which means Halloween is just around the corner. We gotta move fast.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Which is like crazy. We live in this world, where we have like the technology and the resources to be able to just do it that fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, again, that's part of the advantage that you're going to have from like a label. I'm so happy you're able to do that now.
Yeah, it's been really freaking cool, dude.
Hey, for anybody in the area, where can they catch you next? Where's some of your next shows going to be at?
The last Wanda Band show of the year actually is going to be in Sheffield, Alabama on November 17th. And we're opening for the Prescriptions because their new album release is, I think their album comes out on the 18th of November. So they're having their album release at Dorm 11.
Oh, heck yeah.
We're there. I'm coming.
So,
all right, be there. It'll be fun.
So this is kind of funny. Me and Daniel were on our way to a Havoc hockey game, and we had to stop at Straight to L, which is where I work now. Come see me. To pick up some tickets that my boss left me. And we passed Stovehouse, and they have a huge billboard sign above their building. And we were on Governor's Drive, just driving, and I look up at this billboard, and it's you
on a billboard,
Wanda, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Wanda on a billboard! What the hell? And then it cut to Them Dogs, and as you know, it showed the picture with Jerome holding Sharla's
dog,
old dog, Little Bit. May she rest in peace. She's a wonderful dog.
Oh, Little Bit was on the billboard too.
It was on the billboard, and we were like, "Oh my god, Bit's famous." We weren't even concerned about.
We were freaking out about both things.
Freaking out about you, Them Dogs, and Bit being on billboards, and we're like, "Oh my god, we've made it, guys!"
Look! Wanda's on billboards. She's on a big record label. I knew this was going to happen. It was just a matter of time.
Dude, what's so funny is like my friends Aaron and Jane are also on that billboard right now, and he's holding his cat Callie in the photo, and I took
oh my god.
And when I saw that photo, I was like, "Oh my god, I took that photo!" And I had
you
like
did.
a little bit where I was like, "A photo I took is on a billboard," and then my face flipped, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm on a billboard!"
Oh, it's me.
It was just one of those surreal experiences.
You made it.
Seriously.
It's kind of fun. I mean, I'm glad the Stovehouse puts all the local shows up on their billboard. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
Make everyone have their little moment. It's fun.
So, did we miss the Stovehouse show?
It'll be this Wednesday, November 9th.
We're there. We're coming.
Okay.
We'll see you
if,
then.
if I'm off
Solo.
work, I will be.
It starts at
Oh
6:30.
no, I'm not off work. I closed the bar.
I'm going.
But when y'all get done, y'all come see me.
All right, word.
They got good tacos over there.
Yeah, we do have really good tacos.
That would be great.
Well, Wanda, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm so happy for you. I knew this was coming. I know you're off to big things. And seriously, Bonnaroo, I know you're listening. Book the Wanda band.
go.
There is no excuse not to.
I mean,
I
we
expect to
could
see
just
you.
Bully them into booking her.
I mean, I don't know what influence I really got, but what I'm going to use it to just say, book Wanda. Make
Book
it
Wanda,
happen.
She's so
We'll start a
great.
campaign.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Let's start a GoFundMe. Actually.
Make a movement.
Well, thank you so much for joining it. We love you. Really, really appreciate you. We're so happy that you're finally finding the success that you've earned. It's amazing. Hey, and we can't wait to see you at Bonnaroo one way or another, but I expect to see you on a stage.
Oh, man.
Absolutely.
It'll be a journey and we'll get there eventually. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
Of
you.
course.
Can't you see? You've been living in make-believe. Are you just the one to deceive? 'Cause it's all just a game. First you cry me heaven blessed, then you screaming demon possessed.
Oh my gosh, that was so lovely talking with Wanda. What do you think?
I think you're going to prom together.
Oh my gosh, I'm blushing.
I am going to be able to see Wanda this week. I'm going to go to her show at Stovehouse.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to that.
I will be literally across the street at work.
Let's see if we can get you out of there. Or maybe we can get her over there.
Yeah,
Come and get her to get tacos over there. You guys got really good tacos.
I know. Like
Yeah. Hey, somebody else has joined us. Can he say something?
cornbread.
Cornbread,
Speak.
speak. Wow, that was pretty good.
That was good.
That was
buddy.
Cornbread the
That
Corgi.
was really
He is
good.
here. Yeah. That was really good. Hey, one last thing that we wanted to get out to everybody. You will probably be hearing this before Tuesday, which is Election Day.
Whoop.
You should get out and vote.
Go vote.
As Wanda just told you, they have been working hard to get people registered. So if you already are, there is no excuse not to go vote. I'm not going to tell you which way to vote. That ain't our business. But you should go vote, whichever way you think you should.
Don't think about it. Just go vote.
Yeah, don't even. Well, they should think about it. They should think about it and then go do it.
Well,
yeah.
well, you know.
Yeah. Hey, so I want you to go to vote.org because you can put in your address there and it will tell you where your polling location is.
Yes.
We need to do that here in the next day or two, Brooklyn, because they may have changed ours. I want to make sure I know where to go. Will you ride with me to go vote on Tuesday?
Absolutely.
Yeah? All right. So, here's some homework for you. Find out where your polling location is and also see if any of your friends need a ride to go vote. You may have already voted early, and if so, awesome. If you haven't, you're going to have to go to your polling location and do that. It'll just take 10 minutes. It is what you do as part of your civic duty. But we're giving you additional homework. You should go pick up a friend, take them with you to go vote. It is a big deal. There's a lot of big elections happening locally. It's kind of interesting. We're not voting for president right now, but a lot of local elections are happening, which in some cases are even more important. So again, go to vote.org to find your polling location. And your homework, should you choose to accept it, is to bring a friend with you. Bring a friend, family member with you to go vote. What do you think, Brooklyn? Are we going to do that together Tuesday?
Absolutely.
Is it bad that I got to look at our sample ballot? You can look that up. I can't remember everything that we're supposed to be voting on Tuesday.
Oh gosh, I didn't even know we were supposed
Yeah,
to
we
be
got
voting on Tuesday.
Yeah, we got a little homework to do. Next week, we may take a week off, but I think what may be more likely is we're going to have a special bonus episode because me and you and some other Bonnaroo friends are taking it to Florida for something else.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, so we may have a non-Bonnaroo related episode next week because we are going to meet some friends and we are going to go see Artemis 1 launch down at Kennedy Space Center. Yeah.
If it actually launches,
I think it will this time.
I think it will too.
A lot of our colleagues have been working hard on this for many, many years, and it looks like this thing is finally going to fly overnight on Sunday into Monday. It'll either be the 13th or 14th, depending on where you are On East Coast time, it is launching just after midnight on the early morning of the 14th. So a lot of people have been working their tail off. Please go watch it if you can. I think if there is an episode next week, it will be a special one with our good friends Ryan and Jordan from the bridge overlooking the launch pad. I'm so excited to see it fly.
Oh my God.
Me and Brooklyn are taking a bro and sis road trip down there, all the way down to Titusville, Cocoa Beach, wherever the heck that is.
This general area.
So next week's episode may be slightly non-Bonnaroo related, much more space nerd kind of stuff.
Which is on brand for me.
Well, it's on brand for all of us. Yeah. So look out for that. It might be a smaller, fun-sized episode. Brooklyn, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic. How are you feeling?
Pretty good after you gave me that bourbon, actually.
Good. Are we going to watch a movie?
It's movie night in the Rubos household, and it's Brooklyn's turn to pick. I don't know. Cornbread's acting like it's his turn to pick.
Yeah,
what's his deal?
Cornbread is all up in the grill right now.
Did he know that we had another corgi on over Zoom earlier?
Yes, and its name was Brooklyn.
Brooklyn the corgi?
It's so meta.
Yeah. Hey, let's wrap it up. What do you think about all of these campground changes? How are you feeling about it?
Well, like I said, I'm just happy that they're listening.
Yes, I am too. I think for me, that is one of the main takeaways. I think one of the biggest headlines is they're listening to the community. They're trying to make it easier. They're trying to adapt. And they are listening to us. So thanks again to Corey from Bonnaroo for taking my calls this past week, for listening to the community. He's talked to many others in the community this past week. Here comes Sharla. Sharla, come here.
Hey, I'm here.
Sharla has been getting her own hair did.
She's been doing her hair.
Charlotte, you got any last thoughts on everything that Bonnaroo is about to announce for their upcoming Black Friday sales?
No, I'm just very excited to actually see what it is in print.
In print or digital?
Well, yeah, you know.
In zeros and
I
ones.
Said print, but I meant print on the screen.
And
we'll never know until we get there what actually is going
down.
And
I want to give them credit. They've been talking.
Absolutely.
They've been talking with people from the group area, which is some of their most dedicated Bonnaroovians. They gave me a call this past week. They're going to the What podcast later this week to talk to the most dedicated Bonnaroovians. They've been working with the Festival, who has been deeply, deeply involved with Bonnaroo for many, many years.
Shout out to him. He's wonderful.
I want to give them credit. They've really been doing the legwork to talk to the community ahead of all of these changes and work with all of us to communicate it to you. So again, please listen to the What podcast this week. Corey and Brad, another Brad, is going to be talking with them this coming week and telling in more detail what all exactly they have planned. So we're kind of like doing 1 and 2 this week with our podcast and theirs.
I have one silly suggestion.
Yeah.
Add more, like, like the fountain. We have the fountain.
Yeah. You want more landmarks?
Add a lazy river. No, it would be absolutely disgusting, but we need like more things to keep cool.
That's funny. They put that in a survey one year. They asked if people wanted a lazy river, and everybody
a lazy river would. Honestly, with a bunch of looks,
it would not be clean.
It would not be clean.
It kind of turned into a meme after they suggested that in a survey.
But dabble. Just dabble in some suggestions to keep people more cool, because it is middle of Tennessee and it is summer.
Well, there was a lot of misting tents and stuff.
Well, it is hot, and even that, like, no, I was dead. I hate the heat. As a person who hates the heat, for people like me.
Also, every year it's not that hot.
Oh, yeah, it was peak hotness.
Some years I've been and it's been 70 degrees every day.
Oh,
this was on the upper scale of the average, it being like almost 100 for 2 or 3 days there before the storm.
So hot.
Well, they know that, and I think that's one reason they're trying to offer these other kind of accommodations.
So the mushroom fountain, I don't care how brown the water gets, I'm gonna get in it.
We got in it on Sunday last time.
Y'all do not judge me. I am there to be cool.
No, we on Sunday last year, we went with Celia from Roof Fitness and Chloe, who we talked to earlier, and a couple of others. We went down the big-ass water slide first, but then we went over to the fountain since we were already wet. And I always said, like, I don't know about getting in on Sunday. It was fine. It was no big deal.
It's not brown.
It was not brown.
I mean, I get it, like, what people are saying.
It's a funny joke,
and everything, but like, no.
It was just fine.
It's either sweat to death or feel refreshed in the dirty water.
Okay. Charlotte, anything else for this week?
I think we covered it.
We covered it. Again, thank you to Bonnaroo for taking our calls and giving us this info and everything. And most of all, thank you for listening to your community, for making big changes like this. I think I speak for just about everybody when I tell you we really appreciate it. And also, while you're listening to me, book Wanda for Thursday.
Book Wanda.
Book Wanda, please.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Book
What
Wanda.
are you doing?
She's fantastic.
You will
really
hear from
should-
us when you drop that lineup.
Oh, you're about to hear from Wanda right
if
now.
Wanda's not on it.
We'll get Wanda there. Hey, I'll tell you what. It sounds like Wanda's coming next year. She might be volunteering with Headcount
You know
again.
what? She's gonna perform anyway.
Yeah,
Whether y'all like it or not.
if Wanda ain't on y'all's lineup, she's going to be on the Rubus lineup. We'll have her come play.
Yeah.
Get Wanda out there. All right, we're going to cut to her for the last song as we fade out. Everybody, me and Brooklyn will probably see you next week. No, there was no editing.
No.
This is a thing that's
Christ.
happening. This is a thing that's happening.
Jesus Christ.
All right, we'll see you guys in a week or two. Please get out there and radiate positivity. Thank you, Brooklyn. We'll see y'all soon.
Intention from meaning well, the road to heaven, the path to hell, 'cause it's all just the same. Everything that you took from me, don't you know it don't come for